Hi friends, Namaste. I am Ananta Sharma. Today I will present to you another chart where the Rautrapada and also Putrapada, both these padas are very important. This chart belongs to our beloved former Rashtrapati, Sri Abdul Kalam. So this native of this chart is Dr. Abdul Kalam. He was the Rashtrapati of our country. He was conferred Bharata Ratna. He studied physics and aerospace engineering. He worked in DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization, and also ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and military missile development. So he is called the Missile Man of India. He conducted the nuclear test, Pokhran nuclear test in 1998. So here there are planets, married planets, benefic planets. We want in charts like that of Sri Kalam. We know Kalam is a noble person, is a soft person, is a pleasing attitude. So expect Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, full moon, Ketu, etc. to occupy important places. But his pravrutti is different. But his vrutti, he dealt with weapons, nuclear weapons, missiles. So his entire career was only devoted to the manufacturing of military weapons. So you please make a distinction between these two. That means he worked for military weapons used by soldiers. Hence, we can notice in his chart also the same combinations we find in those charts of soldiers or policemen. Soldiers and wars are signified by the sixth house and also by the third house. See, we are accustomed to say third house. The significations of third house are courage, initiative, but wars are also indicated by the third house. If you want, you please refer to Uttara Kalamurta Tritiya Bhava Karakattvas. Hence, we have to identify the combinations for A is knowledge and expertise in defense systems connected to the warfare. B for his position as the constitutional head of our state, that is Rashtrapati. C and also his being conferred Bharata Ratna, the highest civilian award. So we must find out these three combinations in this chart. Now let us analyze this chart from D1 chart, Raj Yogas and important combinations. Yogada and Raja Yoga Karakas. The Janma Lagna is Karkataka in D1 chart, and in the Navamsa Lagna, D9 chart, and also a Drakana Lagna, D3 chart are occupied by Jupiter. So these three Lagnas are occupied by the same planet, Jupiter. So Jupiter is Yogada. You please note that Jupiter, the best benefic, the soft planet, planet of education, planet of virtues. But still, here in this horoscope, Jupiter is a Bhratrukaraka, that is the Karaka of the third house. So that is enough. It indicates his courageous activities. Then Raja Yogas. There are very important Raja Yogas here in this chart. Here, the moon sign is Vrishika. Moon sign is Vrishika is aspected by Jupiter in D1 chart. And Jupiter occupied the Lagnas in D3 and D9 charts. So, this is the Raja Yoga, and Jupiter is the Raja Yoga Karaka. Again, Jupiter is a BK and of course, a benefit. Number 3, Paralagna in this chart is Vrushabha on 22 degrees and 35 minutes. Then the Gatika Lagna is in Vrishchika on 15 degrees and 49 minutes. The Janma Lagna is already, we have told you, that is in Karkataka in the D1 chart. So Jupiter occupies Janma Lagna, aspects the Hora Lagna in Vrushabha and Gatika Lagna in Vrishchika. This is a Vishesha Prabhu Yoga. Again, Jupiter is the Raja Yoga Karaka. So the importance of Jupiter is going on. Argalas. Argalas give strength to the planet endowed with Argala. Here there are 2 Argalas in this chart. Argala 1. Yogada Jupiter is exalted in the Lagna. Jupiter is aspecting Shashtapada A6 in Kumbha. And Jupiter has 2 planets, Mars and Venus, in the 4th house Tula. So you please note the Karakatwas of the planets in the Argala houses. The planets in the Argala houses, 2nd, 4th, and 11th houses of the aspecting body, aspecting planet, they are called Argala Kartas or Argala Karakas, planets causing Argala. See, their Karakatwas and nature are very, very important because the planet endowed with Argala imbibes these qualities. Jupiter is no doubt a benefit planet, a soft planet, but if Mars is there in the Argala house, so he imbibes the qualities of Mars and then he is a Karakatwas. So that is how the Yogada is not much important. But the planets causing Argala are very important. So please note down. Then Yogada Jupiter is exalted in Lagna. Jupiter is aspecting Shashtapada A6, that is the Kumbha. Jupiter has 2 planets, Mars and Venus, in the 4th house Tola. Mars is a malefic. AMK. AMK means Amarchakaraka, the Karaka of the 10th house, and Lord of Rajyapada A10. That is the house of profession. Then Venus is a benefic, Dharakaraka. Venus is the Lord of Koshapada A2. So we will deal with Koshapada separately in 1 or 2 charts. Then, out of the 3 Argala houses, 2nd, 4th, and 11th houses from the aspecting planet are of these 3 houses, only one planet is occupied. This is called Ardhargala. This is Ardhargala. Then the Putrapada A5 and Bhratripada A3 are in Kanya. See, the padas with opposite qualities. Putrapada, the house of tapas, or the house of education. That is 5th house. 3rd house, house of pass, house of emission, etc. These 2 houses are together in one sign, that is Kanya. So, the Putrapada A5 and Bhratripada A3 are in Kanya. Kanya is occupied by its own lord, exalted Mercury, MK, and AK Sun. There are 2 planets, Mars and Venus, in the 2nd house Tola, and we have already seen Mars is AMK and Lord of A10. Venus is the Lord of A2. Also, the 4th house from Kanya. 4th house from Kanya, that is 4th house from A3, A5. That is, 4th house is Dhanus. is occupied by Saturn. Again, a magic planet. See, Saturn is a Putra Karaka PK. He is the Lord of Makara, the fifth from A5, and also the 10th from A10. Here, Makara is very, very important. He is Arudalava. 10th house from A10. A10 is Mesha. 10th from A10 is Makara. Then it is fifth from A5. A5 is Kanya. Fifth from A5 is Makara. Then why I repeatedly say this is 10th from A10, third from A3, and fifth from A5. Why I repeatedly say this is all the three qualities, 10th house Karakattvas, 5th house Karakattvas, and the third house Karakattvas are concentrated in Makara. And if Lord of Makara is Saturn, if there is any connection between Saturn and any other planet, that planet is deemed to have connections with all these three others, A3, A5, and A10. So that single planet accounts for all the three padas. So the Putrapada A5 and Bhratrapada A3 Kanya. Kanya is occupied by its own lord, the exalted Mercury, MK, and AK Sun. There are two planets, Mars and Venus, in the third house, Tula. The we have already said Mars is AMK and lord of 8 and Masha. Venus is the lord of A2 and DK. Also, the fourth house of Kanya is occupied by Saturn, a malefic planet, and the lord of A6. Then Saturn is Putrakaraka PK. Putrakaraka means good planet, no doubt, but Putrakaraka is a soft natured Akarakatva, and Saturn a malefic by nature. So PK and the Lord of Makara, the fifth from A5, and also the 10th from A10, and also Arudhalabha, don't forget it, Arudhalabha. Saturn is also the Lord of Kumbha, which is sixth pada, A6, and natural malefic. Again, the Argala house, the next Argala house is 11th house from Kanya, is occupied by exalted Jupiter. So, if a planet is exalted and is endowed with Argala, that is one great thing. Exalted planet is in the Argala houses, that is also another important factor. Jupiter is the Lord of Arud Lagna. Mena, he is BK, Bhratrakaraka, again, who signifies courage and wars, war material, etc. Karnataka, which is the sixth house from a 11th house from Kanya, one of the three Argala houses, second house, fourth house, and 11th house. Second house is occupied by Mars and Venus. Fourth house is occupied by this one, Saturn. 11th house is occupied by exalted Jupiter. Here, all the three houses of Argala, second, fourth, and 11th houses from Kanya are occupied by planets. And there is one small doubt here. So the counter Argala places for the second house, 11th or 12th house is Argala house. So that is not occupied. For the fourth house, 10th house is Argala house, counter Argala house. The 10th house is not, 10th house of Kanya. It is not occupied. But the third house is a counter Argala place for the 11th house. 11th house has a Jupiter, exalted Jupiter, where a third house also has one planet, Moon, but Moon is debilitated. This Moon, this debilitated planet, cannot neutralize the Argala of the exalted planet. So, all these three Argala houses are occupied. This is called Nirabhasa Argala. If only one house is occupied by any planet among the three Argala houses, it is Ardha Argala. If two houses are occupied, it is 3/4 Argala, that is 75% Argala. All the three houses are occupied. This is complete Argala. Then, here we must remember that Argala houses need not necessarily be occupied by only benefic planets. I already explained. Just I will read out what I have written in the notes. But the general impression is that Argala houses must be occupied by benefits only. But it is not correct. The impression is not correct. They may be occupied by malefics also. The planet endowed with Argala imbibes the qualities of the Karaka Kartas, Argala Karakas or Argala Kartas of the planet causing Argala. The planets causing Argala Kartas. That is, so if the Argala Karakas are the uh, lots of A6, A3, Jnatikaraka, Ratrukaraka, and malefics like Mars, Saturn, etc., Rahu, the planet endowed with Argala makes the native uh, pursue those professions signified by those Argala Karakas. So their Vritti and Pravritti also resembles those planets and padas in the Argala house. Padas also are very important. There may be some houses where there are only padas. They may not be occupied by planets, but padas are also very important. So means working in the manufacturing of weapons, etc. Likewise, the Argala Karakas make the native a teacher or an artist, etc., depending upon the Argala Kartas. They are the Karakas of third house or lots of A3, soft planets like Venus, Moon, etc. So you can expect the same Moon, Sun, and Jupiter. If they are Jnati Karaka, Lord of A6, Lord of A3, they make the native a soldier. Planets are the same, but Adhipatyas, lordships, and Karakatvas are very important. Now let us go back once again to the Rajayogas. The third Rajayoga. The Shukra Puja Kirtushu Swabhagyadareshu Chitreshu Rajanaha. Shukra Puja Kirtushu Swabhagyadareshu Stiteshu Rajanaha. So if Venus, Mars, and Ketu, Venus, Mars, and Ketu occupy or combine with Atmakaraka, or if they combine the second and fourth houses from Atmakaraka. Atmaka, they may combine with Atmakaraka, or they may occupy the houses, second house and fourth house from Atmakaraka. The planets are Shukra, Kuja, and Ketu. So here it is the Raja Yoga. Here, those planets should occupy these houses. Aspects are not considered here. So please don't get confused. There is another Raja Yoga, similar Raja Yoga. That is, if Mars, Venus, and Ketu are situated in third and 11 persons from each other. Third house from Venus is Ketu, for example. Then Venus is in the 11th house from Mars. Like the Shukra, Kuja, Ketu, if they are mutually aspecting or if they are in third and 11th houses from each other, that is called Vaitanika Yoga. That is another Raj Yoga, a smaller this one. Here, this is a good Raj Yoga. In this chart, Atmakaraka, Sun combines with Ketu, Mars, Atmakaraka combines with Ketu. Mars and Venus occupy the second house from the Atmakaraka. So this Raj Yoga applies. These three planets need not occupy the three houses. One Atmakaraka with Atmakaraka, the second from Atmakaraka, and fourth from Atmakaraka. Not like that. All the three planets may be with the Atmakaraka in the same sign. So now let us study the Vidya Bhava of the native. Vidya Bhava is education. Now please see the D24 chart. Vidya Bhava. Vidya Bhava here does not mean his academic qualifications. MSc, DSc, PhD. So those qualifications are important, no doubt. But here we see the knowledge or we say Panditya. So he may be, for example, there are people who are good engineers, but they are very much famous in the field of astrology. They are known for their astrological scholarship by people. So like that. So this shows D24 shows academic qualifications, but also is the knowledge for which he is famous. Those planets should. Now, I told you that the starting point for the study of education and knowledge of the native is Putra Pada A5 and in the D20 chart, D24 chart. So A5, Lord of A5 and Putrakarka important. So D24 chart tells us not merely the academic qualifications, but the knowledge and scholarship of the native. The Putrabada A5, the fifth from A5, their laws, and the Putrakaraka PK, their associations and aspects with other planets are important. They must be studied here, they must be examined. Also, the Jaimini Sutras state that there are some combinations for academic excellence. The Karakaunsalagna, the second from Karakaunsalagna, the fifth from Karakaunsalagna, and the planet connected to them reveal the academic caliber of the native. So now I tell you one important coincidence. I remember to have told you in the beginning, in the 43 lesson number 43 or lesson number 17, you please revise, turn the videos back. I remember to have told you that. Sir, when there is Upapada and second from Upapada to discuss the spouse and married life, then where is Dharapada is there? What is the use of Dharapada? Dharapada is there, Dharakaraka is there. These are defined by Jaimini himself. And he never tells any combinations to show about something about the spouse or his married life, anything. All the combinations are given with reference to Upapada or second from Upapada. Then what is the use of Dharapada? Then I told you. See, there is a connection between Upapada and Dharapada. But in any horoscope, any individual horoscope, Upapada or second from Upapada is the same as the Dharapada and seventh from Dharapada. I told you. You please verify. If they are not directly the same, their laws may be aspecting each other. At least in 75% of the charts you can find Upapada or second from Upapada the same as Dharapada and seventh from Dharapada. I told you the same coincidence when we studied Putrapada and Upapada. Say Upapada is Upapada from the fifth house and the 11th house from Upapada are studied for progeny. But why there is a Putrapada A5, Lord of Putrapada, PK are there, they are defined by Jaimini himself. Then why this Upapada and Putrapada? Jaimini never reveals it. But we can understand by studying a number of horoscopes that Upapada, fifth house from Upapada, or the 11th house from Upapada. In the D7 chart, you can say they are the A5 or fifth from A5. They are connected to each other. That is the fifth from Upapada, not Upapada, fifth from Upapada, 11th from Upapada. Fifth house and 11th house from Upapada have connections with Putrapada and fifth from Putrapada and fifth from Putrapada. So, similarly, for Karakaamsha Lagna, we know Putrapada is a house for education. Then there is Karakaamsha Lagna, the second house, third house, second house, Karakaamsha Lagna, second house and fifth house. If Jupiter occupies the Karakaamsha Lagna or the second house or the fifth house, the native is a scholar in scriptures. If Mercury is there, the native is a scholar in astrology. If there is a Venus there, the native is a poet like this. The Karakaamsha Lagna, the second house from Karakaamsha Lagna and the fifth house from Karakaamsha Lagna are the reference points. Then what is this use of Putrapada? You see in any D24 chart, the second Karakaamsha Lagna, the second house from Karakaamsha Lagna, and the fifth house from Karakaamsha Lagna are connected to A5 or fifth from A5 are their lords. So, if you say a combination with reference to Putrapada and the fifth from Putrapada, it holds good even for the points, reference points with reference to Karakansha Lagna. You see this. So here, A5, Putrapada A5 is a Kanya, which is the same as Karakansha Lagna. You see this? Karakansha Lagna is the same as Putrapada. The Putrapada A5 is associated with Bhratrapada A3 also. Kanya, in Kanya. Yet for the time being, let us not study. Yes, here for us, third house is very important. Fifth house is not much important. So let us study like this. Same, they are in the same house. A5 is associated with Bhratrapada A3 in Kanya. It is not occupied by any planet in D24 chart. We know Rautrapada A3 is the Aroda of the third house, which signifies courage and wars. And uh, related factors like weapons also. A5 and A3 in Kanya are affected by PK, Kraturkaraka, Jupiter. And this is all in the D24 chart. Please be mindful of it. Jupiter and Saturn, the Putrakaraka, and also the Lord of Makara. Here, Saturn is important, but not as a Putrakaraka, but he is important as the Lord of Arudhalabha, the 10th from A10, like that. You see, 5th from A5. So we can also the Lord of Makara and Kumbha. Makara is the 5th house from A5, 10th from A10, and Kumbha is the A6. A6 is very important here because it signifies wars. Then Saturn and Jupiter are aspecting each other. The Lord of A5 and A3, Lord of Kanya, is the Mercury, and Mercury is in Kumbha A6. This is the Lord of A5 is in A6. Lord of A3 is in A6. So this is how they are connected to each other. And also the AMK Mars and Rahu in Mesha, which is the Rajyapada. So here Mercury is in Kumbha and he aspects Mars and Rahu in Mesha, the Rajyapada. Then both Mars and Rahu are malefics and Karkas of war and weapons. Mars and Rahu also signify technical knowledge, technical education. The sage Jaimini says if Mars or Rahu occupies the Karkamsa Lagna or the 4,000 Karkamsa Lagna, the native is a mechanic. So, and he holds weapons also. If Karkamsa Lagna is occupied by Mars and Rahu, if the 4,000 from Karkamsa Lagna is occupied by Mars, Rahu, Saturn, and Sun, the native holds weapons. He is a soldier and uses those weapons, which means that the native is a soldier or makes the weapons, and he may be a soldier or he may manufacture weapons. We may uses those weapons. He may manufacture those weapons. Just it is like the pharmacist and the doctor. The pharmacist prepares the medicines. The doctor prescribes those medicines. For doctors as well as pharmacists, the combinations are the same. So, like we will come to it later. So, now let's go to the fifth from A5, that is Makara. Makara is occupied by the West Benefic Venus. So, a benefic in a trine or trine means Kona, fifth house or ninth house, from any house or any pada or any planet, that pada or house gets great strength. Makara, the fifth from A5, is aspected by exalted moon GK and also the Lord of from Lord of 6 from A6 Karkataka, 6 from A6 Kumbha. That is, Kumbha, Sun is the Atmakaraka. So it is important to note that the nature and the karakatva of the padas and planets connected to A5 and the fifth from A5 and PK. So A5 combines with A3, aspected by Saturn, the Lord of A6, Jupiter, BK, the Lord of A5 Mercury occupies A6, is aspected by Mars and Rahu. The fifth house A5 is fifth from A5 is aspected by Sun and GK, Jupiter and Sun and GK Moon, the Lord of sixth from A6. Moon is the Lord of Karkataka. Karkataka is the sixth from A6, that is Kumbha. All the padas and karakas connected to A5, the fifth from A5, the patra karaka are connected to A3, BK, Lord of A3, A6, Lord of A6, GK, and also Saturn, Mars, and the Sun. All is a malefics who signify wars and weapons. They show that the native has knowledge and expertise in making weapons and missiles. Now, let us try to analyze D10 chart for his profession. His profession is the same thing. So, education and profession, they are the same thing for several people, like doctors. They must study medicine, MBBS, become doctors. Lawyers, they must study. So, without studying MBBS, one cannot become a doctor unless there is RMPs or etc. So one, if he is not BL or LLB, he cannot practice law in any court. So these two professions. But other professions, they are different. So one may be a B.Tech man, engineer, still he may work in a bank. They are different. Here, the is education and is a profession. They are the same. So the same combinations which we have seen in the study of his education, the same planets, the same padas become very important in the study of his profession also. See here, we know that the native worker in DRDO and ISRO is the brain behind the making of missiles and the nuclear test at Pokhran. We know that the sixth and the third houses signify wars, weapons, and soldiers. Hence, if Arudhalabha, Rajyapada, A10, their lords AMK are connected to A6 and Lord of A6, Jnatikaraka GK, and to Bhratrukaraka A3, the Lord of A3 and the Bhratrukaraka BK, and also to Sun, Rahu, Mars, and Saturn, the natural karakas for war and weapons. In the D10 chart, the native may be expected to be a soldier. So here, sometimes Arudha Lava, we did not consult Arudha Lava in the D24 chart. Arudha Lava is for financial gains, sources of income, means of income, etc. But education, learning is nothing to do with education. After learning, one may earn money, and that is through D10 chart. Again, when we study Rashtrapati, we need not consult Arudha Labha because Rashtrapati or the Padavi, the position of any ministers or MLAs, they are not positions of profit. Of course, they are making profits through some illegal means, but they are not officers of profit. In the affidavit also, when he files nomination, he must say that I am not holding any post of profit. So here, these combinations may be applied with reference to Yogada also. Now see the D10 chart. Here in the Arudha Lagna is Mena, the Arudha Labha is Makara, the Lord of Arudha Labha is Saturn. The Rajyapada A10 is Mesha, and the Lord of A10 is Mars, the AMK Malefic. The Shashtrapada A6 Kumbha, and the Lord of A6 is Saturn. Again, Lord of Arudalabha also. The Jnatikaraka GK is moon. The Bhratrapada A3 is a Kanya. Lord of A3 is Mercury. The BK is Jupiter. See the combination. The Arudalabha is Makara, which is the same as 10 from A10 Mesha. The A3 is in Kanya. The third from A3 is Vrishchika. Again, third from A3 Vrishchika and fifth from A5 Makara. They are in mutual aspect. So, uh, the Makara also is in a mutual aspect with Karka. Makara, the Arudalabha Makara, and also with Karkataka, which is the sixth from A6 Kumbha. So, now see, the Arudha Labha Makara is occupied number one, two, three, four. See the checklist. First, Arudha Labha, side heading. Second, Lord of Arudha Labha. Third, Rajyapada. Fourth, Lord of Rajyapada, that is 8. Fifth, if necessary, AMK. If AMK comes in any of these four side headings, we need not study separately. So here, Arudha Labha, side heading, checklist, you give tick marks. Mena and the Lord of Arudha Labha Saturn is in Mena and he is aspected by A3. A tick mark there. From Kanya. Saturn is also the Lord of A6 Kumbha. Again, another tick mark. Saturn is in mutual aspect with Mars. Big tick mark. The AMK. Here AMK has come. And the Lord of A10 Mesha. A10 is also here. And also the Lord of third from A3. A3 is again. And by the benefic Venus, the Dharakaraka. Benefic aspect of benefic is good. So Rajyapada A10. So these benefic planets, Venus or Jupiter or full moon, they may not be directly connected to the padas or the required karakas in the combination, but their very presence in the or involvement in those combinations, they make the combination very, very strong. They give excellent results. So now come to Rajyapada 8. Mesha is aspected by the Sun and Rahu from Kumbha. Again, malefic planets. A6, again, malefic planet, malefic. The Sun is Atmakaraka. According to Jaimini Sutras, Sun and Rahu, Atmakaraka combines with Rahu, that makes the native a, a soldier or a man experienced or expert in using a particular weapon. Then A10 is furthermore aspected by Jupiter BK and GK and Lord of Karkataka, 6 from A6 Moon. So Jupiter and Moon aspect this A10 Masha. They aspect Arudha Labha also. So Yogada is Jupiter is BK, Yogada and Raja Yoga Karaka. Jupiter and Moon aspect the A10 and also Arudha Labha Makara from Vrishchika, the third from A3. That from A3 is Vrishchika. So here, Jupiter and Moon combination. Jupiter is very, very powerful planet. He is Yoga and Rajyoga Karaka. So that there is no planet at all. One Jupiter has combination with any of these padas. Yogada and padas only you can have the results. That is the importance and strength of Yogada. The verify the combinations from Yogada and from the Karkamsa Lagna Kanya. I already told you Karkamsa Lagna is has the same as, see the combinations here. Yogada Jupiter, the BK combines with GK Moon, that is Karaka of the sixth house, malefic. In debilitated packet, debilitated moon, in Vrishchika, the third from A3. Yogada is aspected by Mercury, the lord of A3, from Makara. The 10th from A10, that is again Makara, the Arudha Labha. The fourth house from Yogada is fourth house from Yogada. Yogada is in Vrishchika. Fourth house is in Kumbha. Fourth house is occupied by AK Sun and Rahu. So again, Sun and Rahu are in the fourth place from Yogada. Both are malefics, male planets of war and weapons. Now, Karakansha Lagna is Kanya and Atmakaraka is Sun. Same combinations. Karakansha Lagna or the fourth from Karakansha Lagna. Atmakaraka or the fourth from Atmakaraka. The fourth house from Karakansha Lagna Kanya is occupied by Venus. It is aspected by Mars and Saturn. Occupied by Venus, that's good, but aspected by Saturn, Mars, massive planets. The again, you come to Atmakaraka Sun. Atmakaraka Sun combines with Rahu in A6. These combinations indicate that the native is a soldier or a person who is engaged in manufacturing weapons. Now, let us see the combinations for the native to become Rashtrapati, the constitutional head. So, I was very much worried about one problem. Combination of A6 and A10. Combination of 10,000 and 5th house. That gives kings, that gives ministers, that gives secretaries and district collectors. That is government. Ministers and MLA, they are decision makers. And these officers, team MROs or district collectors, they are executives. They execute their decisions. But what is the difference? This was my worry. So you please try. So if Arudha Labha is connected to the combination, then it is the horoscope of an officer because he draws a salary from the government. Whereas minister is not supposed to take all salary from the government. Now, the selfish MLAs or ministers pass some acts in the assemblies that the MLA should be given house sites, the MLA should be given salaries, the MLAs should be given pensions, that be paid pensions. So this is all abuse of democracy. Abuse of democracy. So the main important combination for the native to hold an important post in government is the combination of the fifth and the 10th house. Fifth house means A5, Lord of A5 peak. 10th house means 10th house, Lord of 10th house, and AMK. So three karakas here, three karakas here. This means A5, Lord of A5, and Putra Karaka PK must be connected to A10, Lord of A10, AMK, and also to Sun and Venus in the D10 chart. Sun and Venus, they are planets of government, royal planets. So, Jaimini gives two combinations. If Karkam's Apakaraka is connected to Sun and Moon Venus, or Sun or Venus, the native is a man in the government. So, Jaimini also did not make a difference between the minister or an officer. Here we have to do it because this is our everyday problem. Here in this chart, D10 chart, Putrapada A5 is in Kanya, fifth from A5 is Makara. So again, fifth from A5 is the lord of A5 is Mercury, the lord of fifth from A5 is Saturn. So these are all. So again, these are how these are connected to the 10th house. The Rajyapada A10 is Mesha. The lord of A10 is Mars. The Atmakaraka, Mars the Amarchakaraka. The 10th from A10 is Makara. The lord of Makara is Saturn. See the planets and padas. The 10th from A10 Makara is the same as the 5th from A5. The combination between these padas and their lords and the Karakas is this. A5 is Kanya. It is aspected by lord of A10. That is the connection between 5th house and 10th house. And AMK Mars, also the Karaka of the 10th house. And by PK, Karaka of the 5th house. Saturn, who is the same as the Makara, which is the 10th house from A10. The 10th house and 5th house connected. And also by Venus, the Karaka for government. The Lord of A5 Mercury occupies the Makara, again 10th from A10. The 5th from A5. The 10th from A10. Mercury is in mutual aspect with Yogada and Raja Yoga Karaka Jupiter. So the Rajyapada 8 and Mesa is aspected by royal planet Sun and also by the Yogada and Raja Yoga Karaka Jupiter. So the Lord of 8 and AMK Mars is in mutual aspect with A5 Kanya, PK Saturn, and also with Venus, another royal planet. So, viewed from Karakam's Lagna, you can see have the same combinations with reference to Karakam's Lagna also. The 10th from Karakam's Lagna is Miduna, and it is occupied by Mars. That is again Lord of A10 and AMK, the Lord of A10 and M. And it is also aspected by Putrakarka Saturn from Meena, by also by Venus. So Venus aspects Karakams Lagna, Kanya. Jaimini states that if the Karakams Lagna is connected to Venus, the native is in government. So now let us study the combination for the native to receive Bharata Ratna. You see, Arudha Labha is Makara. Makara, which is the same as fifth from A5 and a 10th from A10. Makara is occupied by Lord of A5. So Arudha Labha is connected to A5, A9, A10 like this. And Makara is aspected by Jupiter, Yogada, and Moon from Vrishchika, which has Bhagyapada A9 in it. So Bhagyapada, Rajyapada, Putrapada are connected to Makara. So the Lord of Arunalabha, Saturn, is aspected by Venus. Thus, the chart explains why the native is such a man of nobility. This is very, very, very important. Thank you.